In this video, we will animate this character using Duik Angela, and in the process, we will learn some interesting techniques for character animation in After Effects. So this is the lesson 6 of the Explainer animation course, and in case you have missed the previous lessons, then you can check it out from the link provided in the description. And you can get all the files, assets, and illustrations that we are using throughout the course from our website, that is again provided in the description and also in the pinned comment. So, before moving forward, do hit the like button and comment down below because your likes and comments really motivates me to make more free courses and tutorials like this. So, without any further delay, let's get started with the character animation process. So, we are in After Effects and we're going to continue from where we have left in the last lesson. So, let's start with animating the hand. Let's select the right hand and let's give it a neutral pose. So, it is not going to be in this pose at the start. Let's move the hand and place it over here in a resting position, and let's open the rotation property and give it a little rotation. Now the shoulder area here is not looking accurate, so we can easily fix it using the shoulder controller. So let's bring it down a little bit. Alright, so let's select the left hand, open the position property, add a keyframe, open the rotation property and add a keyframe, and then press U to open the properties with keyframes. Let's jump on to next 20 frame and let's just move the hand somewhat a little bit, shift it in the right direction, and I would like to rotate it a bit, maybe about minus 1.5, and at the start let's shift it a little bit in the left side and let's give it about 1.5 degree of rotation. Easy is the keyframe. Let's jump on to next 20 frame and copy and paste the initial keyframe, and again let's jump on to next 20 frame, and now we can copy and paste this 3 set of keyframes one more time and we get another loop of this animation, and we will add another loop over here. So copy and paste the same set of keyframes. Okay, now let's select all these keyframes together, jump onto the motion graph editor and slightly pull the bezier handles from both the directions. So I would like to slow down this animation a bit. So select all the keyframes again, then press and hold the Alt key and drag it outward to slow down the entire animation together. Okay, this one looks better. Now we will add some rotation keyframes on the spine, chest and neck layer. Open the rotation property, add keyframes, then jump onto the next one, add keyframes. At the start we can rotate all this by about minus 1 degree, and here we can give about 1 degree. Again jump onto the next frame and give minus 1 degree, and now we can copy and paste this 3 set of keyframes few more times to match the entire timing. Now let's ease the keyframe and we will match the motion graph editor. So let's select all this set of keyframes and we're going to use ease copy. So it's a free plugin and we have already used it in the previous lessons. I'm going to give the link of the plugin in the description. You can get it from there for absolutely free. So let's click on copy, then select this 3 set of keyframes, then click on ease. Now the motion graphs are copied and pasted properly. Okay, now let's see how to anticipate an action while animating a character. So after this action, we're going to pick up the egg from the frying pan. So we're going to anticipate that action before picking that egg. Now let's move the playhead somewhere around here. I think we can slow down this action by a few more frames because here we are going to anticipate that action. So let's add a keyframe on the rotation and the position property of the right hand. Press U to open the properties with keyframes, and we will also add a keyframe on the position property of the shoulder controller. So add a keyframe, and now we will move the hand way up like this. Maybe we can shift the shoulder up a little like this and give a little rotation. Now we will make this motion path a bit curved. So press and hold the Control key plus the Alt key to activate Convert Vertex tool, and bring the bezier handle and we can make the path curved using this bezier handle. And for this anticipation pose, I would like to rotate the spine, the chest and the neck area in this side a little bit more. So select this three set of keyframes and let's give the rotation about minus 1.8. Now let's move the playhead somewhere around here and now we will pick it. So let's select all these three layers, give the rotation 0. Let's select the hand layer, give it 0, and let's move the pan and properly align it with the oven. So let's bring the hand over here and even I'm going to rotate it like this. Okay, now we will change this path curvature such that it should look like the hand is picking the egg using the spatula from this frying pan. So let's move the playhead somewhere around here and I'm just going to move this over here and let's make the path a bit curved like this. So to bring the bezier handles from the corners, I'm just using the convert vertex tool. So here you can see there is some issue over here. We can easily fix it. I mean, we just have to adjust these keyframes a little bit here and there to fix those things. So here you can see there is some issue over here. So we can fix it very easily by adding a keyframe over here. And just make sure that overall curvature of the path looks smooth. That's it. I mean, you can add even more keyframes if you want, but I think it's going to work this way. So let's select all these keyframes. Easy is it. And select this in between keyframes. Press and hold the Control key plus the Alt key and click on it 2 times to convert it into a roving keyframe. Okay, I think we can make this action a bit faster. So let's just squeeze it up a little bit in time. Okay, now let's animate the face of the character. So let's select the face slider controller and open the position property and add keyframe, and let's jump onto the next key pose and add a keyframe. So here we can move the head or shift it little bit in the right side, and here we can shift it little bit in the left side and down. And again here we can copy and paste the initial keyframe and just easy is the keyframe. Now we can copy and paste this set of keyframes 2 more times. And at this position here in the anticipation, we can move the head a bit higher. Yeah, this one is looking better. And here we can give the neutral pose. So just give 0 and 0. So it's going to be back in the neutral pose. Okay, now we will learn how to add follow through to your character animation to transform your character animation just in seconds. Okay, now the overall animation is looking a bit rigid. So to make it look even more interesting, we can offset the keyframes. When you are adding follow through, first you have to check that what is the main action. So here the main action is the character is moving the frying pan on top of the oven. So we're going to add offset or offset the keyframes taking this layer as the reference. So let's select the rotation property of this hand layer and let's offset it by 2 frames. And next we can select the keyframes of the body layer and just move the playhead to the next 4 frame and shift it over here. And now we're going to offset the spine and the neck keyframes from the hip layer by 1 or 2 frame, and then neck from the spine by 2 frame. And after that we can select the face layer and just shift it by a few frames. And next we can even offset the rotation property of this right hand layer and shift it by about 2 frames. Now let's check out the overall animation. I think you can easily spot the difference. By moving the keyframes here and there by a few frames, you can literally transform your character animation that is looking amateur to a professional looking animation in just seconds. Okay, one more thing that was left over here is to add the egg layer. So we are picking the egg with the spatula. So of course we have to add the egg. So let's bring in the egg illustration inside the After Effects. So if you have downloaded the open file from our website, this is the folder structure you should see. Inside the illustration, inside the layer separated, we will import frame 4 egg. Just click and drag it and drop it inside the After Effects project panel, and let's move it over here. So let's turn off the shy for a moment, and we have to find the hand layer first and place this egg layer above that. Okay, so this is it. Now we will just scale down and place the egg on top of the spatula like this, and let's parent the egg layer with the hand. So somewhere around here we can add few keyframes on the egg layer. Let's add a keyframe on the position property, and let's move the playhead backward by a few frames, and this time I'm just going to move the egg and add a rotation property keyframe and try to hide it inside the frying pan. That's it. And we can crop this layer from the start from here. So easy is the keyframe. Yeah, this one works for me. Okay, now let's see how to animate hair. So we will animate the hair maintaining the timing of this motion. So let's get inside the back here, and let's select the controller, the hair controller, and let's add keyframe on angle property on FK here, and press U to open the property with keyframe. Now let's jump onto the next key pose and add a keyframe. So at the start, let's give the angle value rotation about minus 1.5, and here we can give 1.5. I'm just going to give very minimal rotation or very minimal movement in the hair. So let's easy is the keyframe, and again let's move on to the next key pose and copy and paste this keyframe, and let's copy and paste these 3 set of keyframes 2 more times, and let's move the playhead over here, and here we can give about minus 2, and at the end we can give the rotation about 2, and now we can settle down the hair animation by few overshoots. So let's give about minus 0.8. Let's move the playhead and give about 0.2, and at the end the hair will come back to rest with 0 degree of rotation. So this is how it looks now. And of course we will also offset these keyframes from the body layer. So let's start the animation from somewhere around here, and also from the effects control panel of the controller of the hair you can change or customize the hair animation by changing few settings like flexibility, resistance, touch, and curve. So now let's check out the overall animation right now. So with this scene animation is complete. Of course, we have to animate the fire. So we will learn how to animate this fire in the next lesson. So that's the end of this video, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.